Good morning, everybody, and welcome back here to High Button Sports, the Hockey Nova Scotia High Performance Program. Game number 2 here in the male under 15 division. First game last night. Each team got a game in to start the week. The U16s are in the building now. Orientation just about underway. I'm joined once again here by my good buddy, partner, co-host, producer, you name it, Mr. Jeff Warburton. Jeff, just finishing the first game of the morning. How are you feeling now in the color seat?
Fantastic. A nice good morning there for the U14s. A lot great pace there, and I'm sure these guys are ready to match, and the U16s in the building, as you said. So, you know, the big boys have arrived, and maybe a couple extra eyes on these guys here.
You want to talk about big boys. You don't realize when you're up here how big those bodies are until you're down having a chat with them in the lobby. You look at a guy like Fenwick McLean, who may have grown as well. Bert, the goalie from Truro, as we call him. Another big body down there, and a guy I had the pleasure of coaching a few years ago, Mr. Noah Hawko, was tiny in U13 AAA and now has grown into quite the young man. So everybody in the building, coaches are here, evaluators ready to go. The starting goaltender is number 8, Ryder Patterson for Powder, and Noah Polk down there for Team Pink. We're just about underway as we wait for the pegs to get on. Matt Dudelet here with you. A pleasure to be a part of this program in the commentator's seat now as we are officially underway. As Black will take that first pass. Up and over. Everybody looking for that stretch pass up for Baldwin to the backhand there, and just goes up and over the goal. And behind the goal now, Kerrigan will give chase, but it's going to be picked up by Team Pink as they're going to cut back now. Pfeiffer back to the point. Black, opportunity, shot towards the goal, rebound in front, save Polk, and now it's going to be up and over, and the net's going to come off the moorings early on here. We'll have a whistle 33 seconds into this one. And Patterson, Jeff, we found out yesterday, one of the only players in this camp to not play in the major division. Played a minor hockey, as it's called now, so pretty cool feat for the young goaltender down there, and he's settled in quite nicely here, if you ask me.
That's just nothing but skill there, Duder. I mean, if you can make it, as a guy playing Double-A, that just shows off your chops, and interesting to keep on an eye on the name Ryder Patterson, I suppose, as we go forward here into this next season.
And you know what they say, Jeff, if you're good enough, you will be found, and especially in the era of media, and of course, us up here with the cameras, it's pretty easy to find somebody if you really want to. So, real good game by him last night, looking to continue that success here in the first period as Jack Cameron is upended there. Powder back the other way. Baldwin in over the line, had that poked off his stick, and that's towards Polk as he will steer that one aside. Cameron back on it. He's going to go up and over. That's going to be played with a high stick, but now it's going to be touched up by DeBay. Or what is it, Jeff? Or DeBay.
DeBay.
He's down there now in the corner. Good exit through the middle dangerously, and Brian took a little bit of a knee there as he got caught up, and now he's going to get a little bit of a stretch pass down the right side. He's going to run into Singer there, a big body there from the Truro Bearcats. Tillman up the wall for Morris. Morris, 2 goals in the game yesterday. Up for Brian from the Bandits, down the left side, down underneath the goal line. Nice move there through the legs. Couldn't get it back towards the goal, though, however. As now Wilson. Opportunity shot there. That puck had eyes. Goes up and over the goal, though, however, so no shot on goal credited there for Team Powder as it's pushed in behind. Wilson takes a bump there from Morris. They're down there in the far left corner. Still battling for it down there. Now it's going to be swooped up and picked up by Singer. Turned it over. Morris down there, and very water bug-like Mr. Mason Morris, a very quick little skater. Those feet move very fast down there, and he gets to where he needs to go. And, you know, sometimes all it takes, I'm sure that Mr. Mason Morris wasn't fully on the radar at the start of the season, but made a name for himself this year and, you know, settling in quite nicely here with some of the top players in the province, and sometimes that's all it takes just to give a little boost to your game.
And his name rolls off the tongue well, Duder.
Yes, it
Mason
does.
Morris, a name you definitely remember, and I certainly, like you said, didn't really know much about him to start the year, but by the end of the year, whenever you're doing a Rage game, you'll definitely be calling that name a couple times.
Absolutely, and, you know, with the amount of time I spent around the rink with the Harbor Rage team, you got to know the players a little bit better. Very nice kid down there, and You know, sometimes you see these guys out here and they play hard and they play mean and you think that's how they are off the ice, but that is certainly not the case. These kids are very good kids here, and shout out to the parents for that, because that's part of the gig there. You want to be a good person as much as you want to be a good hockey player. Now is Team Pink away in transition, poked off the stick there as it's held up outside the blue line. Another good gap control scenario here for Team Powder. It's Castle Balin up the ice, just out of the reach of Haverstock there, as that's going to bounce down inside the zone as Bootlier goes back for it. Haverstock, he'll throw his weight around. Just trying to do anything possible when you don't have the puck. Find a way to be noticed out there, and he's been doing that so far as he's been throwing around the weight. Bootlier with it here for Team Pink, up through the neutral zone as he walks in over the line, and that's going to be offside. Zigged when he should have zagged. And we'll get another whistle here. 16:35, so a little bit, not a slow pace to start, just not a whole lot of chances here to start this game off. A lot of neutral zone play, some good transitional play, and we're just going to wait for this thing to open up here, Jeff.
Yeah, it's definitely a little not slow to start, but no grade A chances or anything close to it here yet. And they had this a bit different than the last group, dudes, because the last group you eat breakfast, you're right out on the ice. 10 minutes later, these guys had 2 hours to kind of sit around. I'm sure they're doing lots, but get back into that game shape, and I'm sure we'll by about 10 minutes in, we'll probably be where we want to be.
Yeah, well, a certain point in this game, we'll probably be saying that's too fast of a pace.
Yeah.
As that's turned over. Potential odd man rush here for Powder. Worked in over the line, tried to center that pass, but it was picked off along the way. And back the other way. Carter Odell now, the good head of steam down the left side. And over the line, the Gulls not prospect. As he drops it back there, and that looks like it was off the stick of Lawrence Williams. And no, it looks like it's going to be Eli Swain with the goal there. So just got to wait for the person to lead the charge. And just like that, we got a goal here for Pink, 1-0. Not as an exciting of a call as you probably expected on the goal, but sometimes when you get caught up here gabbing, things happen, but that's why you have the cameras. So 1-0 lead here for Pink. Full sail change for both sides here.
Like we said, trying to put a spotlight on some of these players, maybe talk about the skills they have to offer and all that sort of jazz as they look to make this team. So that's why the gab kind of gets thrown in, but nice job there. And Eli Swain, a guy who knows how to score there, and like we were saying, those Bombers know how to play the game.
Absolutely. There's a shot. Is kicked aside by Patterson. Hunter McLean on that loose puck. Singer able to get that puck in deep down there in the corner as Andrea was on it. Pushed around to the far side, poked through the middle of the ice, back out to the blue line. Good job by Singer. Started to ease off, realized the puck was coming, and made a good play to hold the line. Down in the corner. Another good crowd on hand here, and I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but when I was growing up playing here, I don't think any of the parents showed up. It was a good way to drop the kid off and head off on a little mini vacation here, but nice to see the bodies in here. And as a player, you look up and you see some bodies, and you might want to add a little bit more to your game here.
Definitely, and it's nice for us, getting to talk to the parents. We've got to know a couple of them over the years, so lots of friendly faces around, and good chances to say a quick word before the season starts and before we get into all the craziness.
That's it. So back for Jack Cameron here. Team Pink back inside their own zone. He's going to slide in behind Polk. He's being pressed there by Baldwin, trying to funnel him out to one side, but Cameron able to very calmly exit the zone as it's turned over. Nice chip pass through the middle. Baldwin's going to pick it up in over the line. Had to hold up at the blue line there as he had a man in front in Chisholm, so he's going to dump it in. He'll head for a change. Chisholm unable to hold the line on that bouncing puck, as now he'll partner it across there. Tillman. One thing you'll see Tillman do a lot of is shoulder check with his head up there before he even gets the puck. He likes to know exactly where the traffic is coming from and where his options are, and that's a sign of an elite defender down there with that kind of awareness, I guess, between the shoulders, if you will. Well, Tillman now, speak of the devil, he's going to slide off a forechecker, and he's going to create a lot of space for himself out there as he makes a nice clean pass up the left side for Morris. Had a hard time with it, but Tillman jumps into the play as he walks in over the line. Cross ice pass, opportunity, shot there. Ranger on Ranger, as that was off the stick there of Eric Hanley, and Noah Polk able to square that one up and cover it up. So it's 1-0 lead here for Team Pink with 13:38 left to go here in the first period.
Tillman's definitely a player who plays with that edge, dude. It's not tough to look at him when he's rushing up that ice. He has that intensity in his eyes, and coaches love that. And Tillman kind of showing up here the first 2 games nicely.
One thing I noticed about him during the season is the tougher the game got and the tighter checking it got, the better he played. So opportunity out front here. They banging away at it. Puck's still loose. Great job by the official there. Easy just to sit back and allow that puck to get out of your vision and blow the whistle, but he got right in the action. Now there's a shot there from the point. That is going to go wide. Goes to the left corner. Trying to push it free, and now we'll get outside the zone. Brian with it. His team is tagged up. Now as he walks in over the line, he's going to stop up, trying to find some recruits. Instead, he'll fire it down low, but it was blocked along the way. Hanley, Brian in there as well as they try and dig it off the half wall. Back to the point. Duffy down low. Nice pass, backhand shot. Rebound still there. And now Polk able to cover it up. And now we see a little pushing and shoving after. A little bit of a late dig there from Brian. That's always going to cause a stir. As the intensity and it almost feels like a little bit of a rivalry starting to brew here, Jeff.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't take much for these young guys to get up in the morning and want to play. And, you know, if you're with the same team for a couple games in a row, that camaraderie will definitely come around, and seeing a little bit more of that today.
Talk about camaraderie. One of the cooler parts of this camp for myself personally is watching the players interact at lunch during the team builders. You know, like we say, these players may not always hang out together. They definitely know one another, but starting to get a feel for it. And I still have some lifelong friends here that I've met during these camps that I'm still friends with today, and guys you just didn't expect to be tangled up with at all. So pretty cool for these youngsters. And like we said yesterday, Jeff, it's about making the team, but at the same time, this is great memories for these players as they start their careers, it almost seems like. So through the middle, Osmond. Sorry, that's McDonald. Down the left side, backdoor pass, and what a great feed there. Carter Odell on the back post. Perfect F2 positioning, and it's 2-0 Team Pink here early on in the first period.
Odell certainly showing us why we say his name so much during the regular season, and he's off to a great start here in this game.
Absolutely is, and a household name here for this age group. And we talked about busy families. I believe I run into his mom all the time, sometimes in 2 rinks in the same day in different parts of the province. So, you know, these parents may be considered unsung heroes in this. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that you don't get to see, and keeping these kids fed. And I think at this age group, in the gear as they grow what seems like overnight. So we always like to give a shout out to the parents here, as without them, none of this is even possible. So shout out to you guys at home not able to make it here. As the puck's dumped back inside the zone. McPhee fired across size. Now bank pass all the way off the wall. Swain looking for it. Gillis back for it here for Powder. He'll stop up and behind his net, use that net for a little bit of security, but he's going to be flushed out the other side. Up the right side. Seth O'Leary took a bit of a bump, so had to wheel the puck back down. Now back up the left side, a little bit of a bump down in front of us. That was Bryson Jardine. He's going to end up getting that puck in deep as it's rimmed around for Cameron. Cameron stopped, and back to his partner Pfeiffer. So interesting tidbit before the game, and that's something that slipped by us, Jeff. 8 defensemen on each side. So 4 lines of D as opposed to your 3 lines of D. And now an opportunity out front. Nate McKay on the doorstep, and he's going to cut the lead in half here as he gets Powder on the board. And that's just a real good play on the forecheck there to cause a turnover. And they make no mistake there as McKay up and over Polk, and it's 2-1.
Cutting that lead in half there, halfway through the first period, and as you said, a bit of an oversight by us. 8 defensemen on each side, and that's definitely going to kind of mess with your momentum, especially if you're obviously used to the 6. So maybe that's something to keep an eye out there if you're at home and you're either looking for a kid or looking for a specific player, especially on D. You're battling for that ice time. You got to make it worth it.
Yeah, and that's probably part of the reason why they do the 20-minute periods. Gives everybody the optimal chance to get out there and be seen. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you get your limited chances. You want to make something happen pretty much every shift here. And we got a player down here on Powder, slow to get back up. And it looks like it is Jardine who is back to his feet now, just a little bit shaken up here. So we're going to have another whistle here. 10:07 left to go. Action-packed first period here. 3 goals already on the board. The face-off's going to come to the left side of Noah Polk.
Good action indeed, and just halfway through the first, and I guess it took even less than 10 minutes for this thing to pick up, eh, dudes? We thought maybe a couple, but I'd say they're both pretty much settled in right now.
Yeah, we were once again standing corrected up here in the booth, but absolutely no problem taking that on the chin here. That's a pretty easy mistake to get away with.
How long it'll take them to adjust, yes.
As Baldwin picks it up here in transition for the Powder. Down the right side, still with it, strong on that puck, tries to fire one towards the goal. So obviously Baldwin had himself quite the rookie campaign, and looks like he's grown a little bit since last season. That high-scoring line of Baldwin, Welsh, and Gallant there, especially on the power play for the Rage. Down low, Kerrigan, opportunity, tried to slide it through the feet, and Strong came through as the F3 and fanned on the opportunity, as it's going to be covered up by Polk. Now 9:19 left to go here in the first period. The faceoff is going to stay inside the zone. Polk's going to get a little hydration, and you were going to touch on something there, were you?
I was just going to say full-scale change coming in here. Both sides fully getting fresh legs out. It's always interesting to kind of see shift lengths, especially through the first period.
One of those tough jobs as a bench boss down there is, you know, looking up and realizing how long they've been out there. Sometimes you get caught up in the moments of the game there and you lose track of the time. At least that's how I found it was when I was coaching. All of a sudden you got your guys out there for 2 minutes, and some guys get out there for 15 seconds. So it's a little bit of a tougher job than people may think, getting those lines, making sure everybody gets out there. But they're doing a good job here so far as play continues down low.
Yeah. It's not like baseball where you can kind of set and forget. You know, you never really quite know. It's a quick game. Things happen. So you just basically manage, I suppose.
Especially when you get into penalties and stuff like that, too, where you have that one guy that sits back. And, you know, I think right now it's just next man up. So 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and so on. You get the idea there. There's a big hit over there on the wall, the old double team. And back the other way. 2-on-1. Opportunity. Backdoor Morris kind of surprised him, and he was ready for it, but just couldn't fully pull the trigger. And what was a great feed there from Morgan Fleming. So you got the guys on their strong sides, just weren't able to complete the 2-on-1, and back the other way goes Team Pink. And over the line, Hakala is going to get that in deep. He'll get in on the check there as Kean Doyle turned it over. Morris now is going to pick it up in full speed. He's going to work down the left side, tries to make a move, and turn it over at the offensive blue line. Alistair McPhee read that one like a book now as Brian pokes it free to the backhand, spins, tries to fire one on goal, and that goes in behind. Now an opportunity for LaRue as he peels it off the back wall. And go back there to that play. Morris on McPhee. You're not going to beat McPhee too many times on that one-on-one like that. He very rarely commits those feet because that's what those forwards are looking for. As soon as you turn those feet, you give yourself that opportunity to pull that defender out of position. But McPhee, real good skater, and he's not really going to get burned on plays like that very often. Puck in behind the goal, out front. They bang at it in Haverstock. Looking for it, they shovel it home, and it looks like Max Bryan is going to swoop in there and clean up the trash, as they say on the Mighty Ducks. There's a couple whacks at it in front there. Not much Paul could do. 4 Powder jerseys on top of the crease, and now it is 2-2, so back to square one early on here. 7:34 left to go in the first period.
Yeah, and good job there by Brian, the Bedford Bandit. So a title under his belt, and getting invited to this camp, as I believe he often has been, and making his kind of game known. A very good player, type of player who can really take over a game if it's his sort of game, you know, and if he's really feeling it, he can be an impact player doing a lot of these big ones down the stretch, especially in the playoffs. Play a little grittier and showing a goal there.
Yeah, lessons learned late in the season, playing through adversity, injuries, fatigue, you know, a couple games in a day, and, you know, the longer you play in the season, the better off I find you'll be, just as far as lessons learned and all that jazz. Is, like you said, you get an extra look at all those players that make it the far distance, and that's not to say that the other players aren't as good, just your team didn't quite have a successful season as some of the others. So puck's in deep, Haverstock in on McPhee. And now McPhee will return the favor for Haverstock. Swain with it. Nice little patient play there as he's going to move it up the left side for Pfeiffer, who's going to work over through the neutral zone and over the blue line now. Shot towards the goal. Patterson redirects that towards the end wall. Now is Brian with it. Nice pass up ice. Haverstock just out of his reach. Maybe cut his stick before the game. Cameron fires that cross ice. Icing waved off. Good call there by the official. Going to continue on here. 6:09 left to go here in the first period. Now Singer is going to join the party here. Andrea, great job to walk the line. He takes a bit of a bump there and taking a hit to make a play. It's part of the game as Hunter McLean tried to muscle his way in. He's rather successful there as he carries that puck in deep. In behind the goal, looking for a wraparound chance. Out front, they're banging away at it. Still in the crease. Now it's loose and it's cleared out of harm's way. And back goes McKay. McKay in over the line, and that's another one of those plays, Jeff. We constantly are talking about it. It seems as though for some reason the players want to make that pass right before the blue line there. When you're attacking with numbers, you want to get in the zone, make the play, and then start your zigzag process, right? You guys they had 3 forwards in perfect position, F1, F2, F3, and then they force themselves offside. So tough play there.
Well, rightfully so. It is something they're going to be taking a look at, right? It's, you know, the calm under pressure. These are basic, you know, hockey rules. Get over the red line, get it in, and being able to apply it under pressure, definitely a big one.
It's like those unwritten rules there where you don't make moves. It's the defensive blue line, the offensive blue line, and for the most part, the red line, though. So, like I said, once again, we like to critique up here. It's easy for us to say as we're just watching, but, you know, I can say from experience for sure that if you get in over that blue line and then you give the puck up, at least then you're not forcing your team offside. Poke down deep. Picked up here by Powder. Good shift move out of the corner as Jardine centers it, looking for his teammate Strong, as that's going to be pushed back down inside the end zone. Singer with it. Nice pass through the middle. A little bit dangerous, but it does work out as it pushes out into the neutral zone as it's swung back for Tillman. Tillman, nice partner pass. These defense doing a great job on that anchor as they're making themselves available as an option. And now it's going to be touched up, so no high stick on the play. Pink with it here is Kean Osmond. Fires it to the left side. Dubai, cross for Singer. And that's out of the reach of Urquhart there as now Tillman's back for it here for Powder inside his own zone. 4:20 left to go here in the first. Reverse back the other way. Cooper Strong with it now, looking for his options through the middle for Baldwin. Good option there as he led with the stick. And a lot of the times, even if you can't lock eyes, you see that stick that you're looking for as that target, and you're just going to fire it right there. So good job there, communicating without actually communicating. And now Bootlier's going to pick it up for Pink. Here's they're going to exit the zone here in transition. They'll head north and over the line. Trying to make a move there was Hakala. Wasn't able to get free, so he gets it in deep. Bit of a weird sequence down there as a little double team. There's Kerrigan now in over the line. Looking for Baldwin going to the net. Baldwin's going to get the pass, but he was tied up. And a great defensive play down there as you kind of want to forget about that puck as the back defender and just tie up your man and allow him not to get an opportunity. As Pink trying to get out of the zone here, but a good press from Powder. As in behind for Bootlier now, just out of his reach. Strong will get on him. Chipped up and over and nearly held in, but it will get back into the neutral zone as Castle Balin now is going to fire to the left side. Baldwin and over the blue line now. Poked it. It's going to come free. Loose puck still at the top of the blue line, and back the other way goes Team Pink. Kean Doyle had that poked off his stick. Kerrigan with it. He's going to look for his options. He's just going to swing that back to his defender. Good safe play there. So it allows your forwards to get into position to be an option. Now they're just going to work up the ice. Duffy in over the line. Leaves it for Baldwin. Baldwin. Nice toe drag there, but he's going to take a bump. And a good clean hit there from Ewan Sim. Still down low. Baldwin centers. Opportunity. Kerrigan the shot, and the rebound is cleared. Swain, nice little chip play to himself. He's going to have a man with him. Works into the middle of the ice. Swain down low. Back to the forehand, and a nice opportunity there for Matthew McDonald. Tried to go back to the forehand in tight. Just kind of ran out of real estate. Poke through the middle. Good clean breakout here. Brian through in support as he'll work in over the blue line. Stops up. Takes a bump there as the puck goes back for McPhee. Through the middle. Odell with a goal already in this game. He'll run in to Brian down there. Those two well aware of one another. These two were the top teams in the U15 league last year. This is chipped down into the corner. All the way around. Morris had a hard time taking the pass off the wall, but he does end up getting the puck out as now he gets the return pass in over the blue line, and that's going to be offside at the blue line, as I think everybody in the building can agree that that one was a little bit ahead of the play. So a minute 42 here, these last few minutes flying by, Jeff.
Yeah, not many chances or many goals, obviously, since the 2-2, as we were off to the hot start there. Since then, definitely settled in, and just back and forth action here. Not really giving the edge to either team yet, quite so. What about you? You feel like any team has an edge?
No, I feel like they're both pretty evenly played here so far, and if you just look at the scoreboard, then that's obvious. But, you know, these two teams are trading chances. It's not like one team's carrying or hemming the other team in the zone. They seem to be breaking out pretty well, and both defensive zone coverage have seemed to be pretty tight here so far, and that's the reason for the lack of chances so far. Is a big hit there by Brian as he's going to take out Pfeiffer. He's been throwing his weight around here in this game. Love to see that. Bigger body out there, and pretty good skater as well, as he's going to continue on the forecheck there. Great job, and that's what we talked about in the game before. You're on the forecheck there. Keep those feet moving, right? Don't slow up as he caused a turnover now.
Right there. If he didn't hustle that hard, then that puck's going the other way, and now you get a chance out of it.
So there you go. Brian and Morris creating a little bit of chemistry out there. Two players from two completely different systems coming together to make something happen. And that all starts with Brian there. He gets that good breakout pass after a good defensive play, and they call that a 200-foot game, Jeff, here in the biz.
Just a minute left here.
Yep, 58.4 seconds exactly. Face off to the right side of Polk. Pulled out off the draw. Shot there from Haverstock. Good idea to get that through with the bodies in front. Wasn't able to find the back of the net, though, as Polk able to fight through the crowd. Back for Black. Towards the goal. Blocked by Singer. And now taken by Urquhart. Had 2 goals in last night's game. He's in over the blue line now as he walks down the line looking for an option. Tries to go towards the goal, but it was picked off. There's 35 seconds left to go here. LaRue trying to out-battle DeBay. And Singer nearly turned it over. Offside, waved off. This is going to be chipped off the wall. Now back the other way. It's Kean Osmond through the middle to the trailer across. Shot towards the goal. That goes in behind. 15 seconds left to go here in the first. Press here late from Team Pink as Urquhart works behind the goal line. Trying to get something towards the goal here. 7 seconds, maybe an opportunity for one last shot from a distance here. That's going to come back for Worth. Worth shot there through a crowd. Rebound still loose. Opportunity. 2 of them whacked at it. And one of them gets a shot off, and that's going to do it here for the first period. 2 goals aside. We'll have a quick flood, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time, so stick right here.
One.
And we're back. Second period. Up on the board. 2-2 tie to start things here. Matt Doodley back with you here. High Button Sports alongside Jeff Warburton. Getting ready for the second period. We'll finish off this game, and then there'll be a little bit of a breather, and both age groups will go back at it later this evening. So the old two-a-days. We'll see how the players react with 2 games in 1 day. But before then, another 40 minutes to get through here.
Oh,
nice hit down there. Tillman throwing his weight around. Now an opportunity to return, and they'll get it back. Now is a shot there from the point. Onto the newly entered Brennan Fitzgerald there for Team Powder, and down in the pink goal is Mr. Aaron Meaden, younger brother of good buddy of mine, Seth Meaden. Getting his second period here, which means he'll be probably in the first in the next game. Impossible to tell, but that certainly seems like the case now as Pink's back the other way. Bootlier's going to try and lead the rush here out of the defensive zone. Our good buddy Ovi Baldwin back in the building here. Big hockey fan.
Couple barks.
Yep, just cheering him on down there. Nice move. Get out of the zone there. Who got away with the hook there, looked like. A dangerous play over there on the half wall in front of the benches. Both players hit the deck, but looks like they're both going to be okay as it's ripped back down inside the zone. Quentin Land fired that cross ice. That's off the stick there of McDonald and in. Good zone entry there as they were able to get a stick on it. Back to the point. Nearly held in, but Swain back to help out for Team Pink. He turned it over. In over the line. Baldwin shot there and a bottle popper. Jack Baldwin gets his first of the event. And that guy did a lot of scoring this season, and one of those players that you don't want to give that space into in behind the D. Jack Baldwin, a little bit of a growth spurt, so a little extra push on that shot there, and what a great shot, Jeff, up and over. That's going to beat any goalie.
That was a fantastic look, and as you said, he added some size and looking pretty confident out there. Interested to see what else Baldwin has in him for the rest of this weekend.
Quiet kid, too. Had the opportunity to be around some of these players quite a bit this season and just kind of goes about his business. Not the most loud guy, but not the quietest guy either, so a little bit of ball in him as well. So you kind of learn the chatter there from baseball, but we're told that he had to make that decision that we talked about, Jeff, and gave up baseball here, and he's got the golf bug, as most of us do now.
Yep.
Nice pass.
Cheap sport to replace baseball with, eh?
Apparently one of the parents was a golfer growing up, so it's in the family, and not hard to tell why. Some good athletic genes there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as we speak of it, as we talk about him being a quieter kid, he kind of gives the gears to the official there about not touching the puck on the offside, but rightfully so. They blew the whistle a little bit prematurely, but no harm done there. Not like there was a chance the other way. So faceoff's going to come outside the zone here. Full sail change for both sides. Just in front of the booth here. That's going to be Brian and Surratt on the draw. Two players that hung out quite a bit this season. Two bandit players and played a few extra games as they were our representative for Nova Scotia for the Atlantics as well.
Yes, and they also played Bedford AAA together, so
there you go.
Plenty of time together, plenty.
A shot there, that goes wide. That beat Fitzgerald, but couldn't find the back of the net. Now his Singer's back for it. Play against a couple Singers in the old fast pitch league back home, so another household athletic name. It's towards the goal, good smart shot there. Looking to get a rebound, they do, but it was pushed away out of harm's way. As now Cameron almost turned it over to Brian, and now he does. An opportunity. Singer hauls him down. And it looks like the puck's still going to find the back of the net somehow on the dive. There was no arm in the air. But now Team Powder is going to take a 3-2 lead here. And it looks like maybe Morris tapped that one in as he's going to lead the charge here by the bench. And if that is the case, that's his third goal in 2 games. So making a name for himself out there. And at the end of the day, Jeff, it's not all about the goals, but it certainly does help your case.
Definitely. If you can put some numbers up on the boards, and a 2-goal swing here now is 2-0 and now 4-2. So Pink maybe needs a little bit of retaliation here.
The old 4 unanswered now as Pink back the other way, as you say it. Urquhart down the left side. Nice saucer pass, backdoor shot, scores, and a beauty goal there. Gets it right back. And what a saucer pass there from Andrew Urquhart as he got that across to Kean Osmond. Landed perfectly, and just a well executed play, and it's 4-3. So if you came here looking for some goals here in the second period, you're getting your wish early on.
Yeah, well done there, finishing off on that play, dudes.
And you know what? Those saucer passes, man, these kids are so good at them these days. It was almost a pass that never even really showed up until like one of those real last-minute moments, but these saucer passes are just, the skill on these players is just ridiculous, and we're going to talk about it a lot, but just able to do pretty much anything down there, and it's always nice to see the creativity, and it's, at the end of the day, it's still a read and react sport. As much as you can play your position, you still got to read the play, and they do a great job there, and now we're back to a one-goal game. Almost like they heard you.
Kind of like that lead pass we were talking about there. You know, it's not so different, that little sauce pass in the zone. I mean, a little more on the stick, but you just got to be thinking so many steps ahead to pull off a goal like that.
You could see his brain going, you know, with the zone there too, right?
Yep.
Being pressed there from the middle lane, and pretty much the only option he had was to try and get a pass across, and they made no mistake there. It was just perfectly placed, and not much Fitzgerald could do on that play.
And none of us up here or listening at home can obviously know what it's like to be playing in this game, but I can assure you that the pace out there is fantastic, as we all know, and even to have that split second to be able to make that thought and get that pass through and be able to get it to your line mate is seriously impressive.
Yeah, very much so. And someone actually asked me yesterday, do you think you could keep up out here, dudes? And my initial reaction was I just laughed. I don't think at the point where I was at, I think the game's just so fast these days. Not that it wasn't back in the day, but it's just ridiculously fast. And what these players are able to do with the puck on their stick is just nuts. So to answer the question, no, I don't think I could keep up. Definitely not these days. But maybe in my prime, maybe a little bit behind the play.
Even Justin said, our founder, Belanger, he said the same thing you did. He said, no chance. He said, it's a totally different game than what we played back in the day, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So hockey's come a long way, and you know, when you're younger and you hear your dad say, oh, in my day, and blah, 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 whereas officially I'm at that point in my life here, but certainly liking the direction of hockey, and it certainly looks like it's in good hands here in Nova Scotia based on what we're seeing here. And there's the first time one of those lifters has hit anything up there in the ceiling area, so we're going to have a whistle, and then the faceoff's going to come back down in front of the pink bench. So 15:08 left to go, just under 5 minutes into this one. So action-packed, felt like the time was flying by, but real good game here so far, as this one looks like it's going to be neck and neck right to the very end. And you get to see how the players kind of play through a tight game. Here's now an opportunity all alone, and up over the goal. That was off the stick of Seth O'Leary and wasn't able to beat Meaden. It was back the other way in transition. Over to the right side. Puck will get in. Opportunity back door. What a save, Fitzgerald, as he struck that right pad out in a hurry. And the Gulls backstopper showing off his lateral movement down there in the crease now is Tillman with a good head of steam. He's just going to walk down on McPhee. Two real strong skaters going one-on-one as they tangle up. In behind the goal, bodies flying everywhere. Two powder jerseys take the worst of that one, and it's back the other way. Outside the zone, picked off. Sim trying to find it, looking for it. Now he's going to peel it. Tries to go through the middle. And a great defensive play there by Jardine. Now as that's going to find the stick of O'Leary just in front of the booth here. O'Leary didn't have a direct pass, so he gets it in deep. Down for it is McKay. McPhee is going to come away with that puck as he gets it all the way out to the blue line. Held in, though, however, and ripped back down inside the zone. Reverse pass, back the other way. McPhee is going to be pressed from the side. Good hard pass there. Nice shake-off move. And then fanned on the attempt as Baldwin turned it over. Cross ice. Towards the middle of the ice. That's going to be broken out. Pass off the stick of Sim is going to get down inside the powder zone as they pick it up here just underneath the circle. And beautiful saucer pass as we talked about earlier. Baldwin, nice exchange there with Strong. Strong will work through the neutral zone as he makes his way. Had a little bit of a hard time with that puck there. Nearly turned it over. Dodged a hit from Sim. Now Strong poked it off the stick and back the other way. So a little bit of sloppy play through the neutral zone there. As the puck ends up back down inside the powder zone, down in the corner. Swain down there to help out. Baldwin as well defensively. Now an opportunity short side and a good save by Fitzgerald as he had to be sharp there. And it's pushed back down inside the zone. So Duffy back for it. Just in front of the Boston Pizza sign. Osmond. Sorry, that's McDonald. Keep getting those blue helmets mixed up. One's left and one's right-handed, so figure it out up here, dudes.
There's only a couple blue helmets out there, though. You know, it's not too easy when there's just two. The yellow, I get the luxury of the yellow with the U15s, but I don't blame you.
It's a tough one.
Those Dartmouth, you just know, like, that blue helmet means Dartmouth, and that's about it.
That's it, yeah. But I just realized now, like I said, one of them's left-handed, one of them's right-handed, so mentally note it. Face off now down to the left of Meaden. Valley Wildcats goaltender this past season. Real strong first year in the league. There's a shot there from a crowd, and Gillis almost picked that top right corner, just trying to get that puck in deep, and almost finds the back of the net. So now it's going to be picked up there by McLeod. Fires that in deep, down into that corner. Nice escape move there from Pfeiffer. Now he'll take a bump. Kerrigan in on the forecheck. Cameron shakes off the forechecker, tries to force a pass, turned over, opportunity in front, and puck is cleared out of harm's way, now through the middle. Swain chipped it to himself down the left side. He's got Gillis on him. Swain into the middle, hit the trailer, shot there, what a rip. As Carter Odell from the hash marks is going to go up over his own goaltender, Fitzgerald, and just like that, a 5-3 lead now for Team Pink. So
I think it's 4-4 here, actually.
4-4, so there you go. So much happening, can't even keep up.
Yeah. So the 2-goal swing we just mentioned is gone before we even reach halfway through.
You got to love that. Pink with the good rush there as Swain actually took a little bit of a breakout pass that was ahead of him, and he chipped it to himself to create that space and then hit the trailer. So zone entry 101, folks, make note there, as that's how you do that. And now it's going to be turned over just inside the blue line. Opportunity, try to get a shot off. Andrea with an active stick is able to disrupt things long enough to stop that shot from getting through. Now as Singer will rip that in behind his own goal, looking for his D partner. Hunter McLean now will drop it back. Worth back for Singer. Singer picks it up on the back end, up the left side for Andrea, who was an option on the wing. He'll take a bump, and they're going to exit the zone, though. And over the line, Worth. That's Surratt. Thought it was weird, Worth leading the charge there as he made the initial breakout pass, but sometimes your brain says what it wants. It's in the zone. Andrea on the forecheck. Body down there. You've seen a little bit of a grimace from the parents down on that side. Pass from Morris, intended for him, is just a little bit too far out of his reach as he hit the brakes there. Worth now back for Singer. Nice return pass. As Morris turned it over, back through the middle, and back the other way is Andrea. Luke Andrea in over the line, right side, across the top of the circle, try to get a shot off, fanned on it. So it's moved down into the corner. Good job there as Morris picked up on where he needed to be defensively. Now is peeled out of the crowd is Brian. Brian over to the right side. Now it's peeled off the wall. Hanley, Brian back on it. Turned it over. Hunter McLean will swing it back to his D-man Boutlier, and dangerous play there. It's Chisholm now out front, rebound, and it's potted home. Eric Hanley on the doorstep. And a good decision by Chisholm to come down the left wall, hold that puck in, and now we have a 5-4 lead Powder. So this is more close to a ping pong match than anything, Jeff. Just back and forth. We had 2-goal lead, 4 unanswered, 2 goals back, and now Powder picks up their second lead of the game.
Interesting to see the difference towards this game and then the one we just saw, where it was pretty much 1-1, 2-1 all the way through. Got a little, and obviously ended up in overtime, but really tight game there. Wide open here.
Talk about wide open. Nash Haverstock went for the huge hit there. Pretty much had full speed going and just missed his target. Now he's down there again, and I love the way Haverstock's been playing here. Not necessarily known for his physicality, but also not known for it. So
not known.
Not known. Yep. There's another opportunity there that goes off the crossbar, and another hit thrown by Haverstock down there is 4th of the shift. Sometimes it's weird. He's such a nice young man that it's sometimes hard to picture throwing the body around down there, but these hockey players, they're wired a little bit differently. Another big hit. Haverstock tried to cut through the middle, high traffic area, not with Nash standing there. A good hit there. Definitely making his presence felt. As Urquhart's going to turn, fire that towards the goal. Never a bad idea with bodies in front, as Urquhart fires it in on Fitzgerald and covers it up. And pretty good shift there from Nash Haverstock. Friend of the show, Jeff.
Nash is a friend of the show, and you can always count on him for a little head nod and a smile rocking by. I don't know him quite as well as you do, but after all these years of covering his games, a nice friendly guy, and definitely very nice parents as well. And I know even one of them may have grabbed your famous high button hat at some point. So friend of the show is for sure.
Matt Dooley game used hat. It's got a lot more value now that it's on his head.
Game commentated hat.
But Nash, like you said, a guy with a smile on his face at all times. If you ever see him off the ice, the guy is just, he's a happy camper. He's happy to be doing what he's doing, and rightfully so. A lot of these kids, he's not the only one out there with smiles on as play continues down inside the Powder zone. Good press here from Team Pink. Centering pass. Good job to tie up in front was Castle Balin. It's now Pfeiffer back for it. He's got O'Leary on him. Good escape move there. Is he going to take a bump there from McKay, but stays on his feet as McPhee had a hard time with that. Looked like he wanted to make the pass. And now he's just going to turn. He's just going to fire that back down inside the Powder zone here. 8:45 left to go in the second period. Duffy, nice shake move as he gets away from his forechecker now. McKay pulls it to himself. Odell. Ooh, and that was actually Jardine. My apologies. Luckily, he was a real strong skater as he got himself back to his feet before he headed into the wall there. Just that little bit of a push to knock you off balance in that danger zone is all it takes sometimes at the speed of this game. But luckily, no harm done there as the puck comes back out to the blue line. Now it's chipped out. That was Kean Doyle trying to get free. Had to be careful. Went for the line change. Good heads up there as he would have been offside but kept himself onside, and now he's going to get caught out in the zone as that's reversed back the other way by McPhee. Pfeiffer tried to get a saucer pass cross ice. That's going to get all the way down. Fitzgerald is going to leave it there. It looked like he was going to play, although maybe a little bit of a miscommunication. Now through the middle into the feet of Baldwin. Baldwin on the backhand is going to get that in deep, and Powder's going to give chase here, but Cameron's back for Pink here first. Gillis had a man on him and kind of ducked down into the hip check position there and kind of eliminated that check as he poked that off his stick. Now back the other way. McDonald, good head of steam, shot there, tried to go 5-hole, or maybe he didn't, but that's where it ended up going. Sometimes that's all it takes, though. The goaltender's trying to get a read off the stick, and if you look like you're shooting top corner and all of a sudden you fan on one that goes 5-hole, a lot of the times you see those ones go in, but good job by Fitzgerald. Kept that paddle down in proper position. It's Cameron able to get that shot off. Fitzgerald looked like that one was not in the sight line until the player got out of the way, and all of a sudden, boom, there it was up at the neck. So good save there, and one of those shots up at the neck area that you always kind of cringe at. A good save by Fitzgerald as the faceoff will stay inside the zone here. 7:06 left to go. So later on today, between games, we'll have Landon Sim on the podcast, so keep an eye out for that one in the next couple days.
Excited to bring you that. And maybe not even the last podcast guest, so just eyes open in general.
A little bit of a cliffhanger there. I know you guys all are dying to know who the other one is, but
don't let it keep you up tonight.
It'll certainly surface when it's time. As Morris now, good shake move. He fires it down low for Brian. This line's been buzzing here for Team Powder. Lots of offensive zone time as they've created a lot of havoc down there as Brian now back up to the point. Opportunity there. Williams, nice move and a nice pass by Black, and that's shot towards the goal and a nice save by Meaden as he covers it up. And he'll hang on. And speaking of Meaden, I remember during the Ice Jam, Jeff, which seems like a lifetime ago now, they were in the middle of the tournament, and Meaden and the coach were out 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning doing some extra work on game day. So just a little bit of testament to the commitment to the position, and it's a lot easier, Jeff, to say no to something like that than it is to say yes, of course. So nice to see him out there, and a shout out to the coach there as well, willing to get up extra early and put the work in with those players, and that's kind of the beauty of the coaching staffs around here. They pretty much sacrifice their own time for the sake of their team, and shout out to all the staff members that might be listening here, maybe not on site, as Pink trying to get free. And now Hanley will fire up the left side. Nice touch pass there. Morris over to Brian. Brian backhand. Thought about trying to go back the other way. Blew a tire. Couldn't quite get it there to Morris as he was planted in the front there as Williams will activate. Brian stays back for him, and wouldn't you know, he's going to get the puck shot there, deflected, and didn't quite make its way to the goal. It's nearly turned over again. Sebi Surratt down the left side, centering pass there through the crease. Fitzgerald let it go. 5.5 left to go here in the second. Down low for Hunter McLean. Back, return pass, shot there off the crossbar. What a quick release there from Luke Andrea. So he was on and off his stick in a hurry. Now is Mason Morris is just going to get that red line, and he's going to get that in deep. Nice soft chip there. No need to rim that puck and send it all the way around the other side for a turnover. So a good smart dump. May sound ridiculous, but all part of the game now is Haverstock tried to make a move. He's bumped off the puck. Back. Shot there and towards Meaden with no screen. He's going to cover that up. 5:10 left to go here.
Yeah, we've kind of rolled through the middle part of this period. The start, there was a bunch of goals, and then I think there's only been one here in the last 5 or 6. So definitely settled in a bit, and only 5 minutes. 25 minutes of game time still left, though, so plenty of time for these guys to make an impact.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a period here. Lots of action on both ends. We've seen pretty much everything there is to do with hockey in this game, as now DeBay trying to get in there. Good head of steam, but maybe feet going a little bit faster than the stick, as it's partnered across through the crowd, looking for a deflection at the side of the net, just over the stick of Urquhart, and now chipped up towards the blue line. And that's going to be played with a high stick.
Have we seen a power play yet this game? We didn't see too many this morning in the other game.
No, I think the one that we would have saw ended up being in the back of the net there on that breakaway or partial break.
So there you go.
Refs letting them play here. We've seen these two officials quite a bit this season. I do recognize the gentleman there with the dark beard, as he's done a lot of games in this area of the province. Now as Tillman walked in an absolute laser, and he had to be careful there as he had numbers, and luckily he eased off just a little bit, and that's that point of the boards of no return there in that danger zone. And wouldn't you know it, Jeff, the old zigzag at the blue line is going to force their team offside. So
not on the same page there on that one.
No, and that's the other thing too. You play with the same guys all year. You start to realize, oh, this guy likes to cut back. This guy likes to make a move wide, and you start to get a feel for things whether you realize or not. And you start to play with new players here, and sometimes your wires just get a little crossed there, and they put themselves offside. So 4:23 left to go here in the second.
Someone in the chat just mentioned watching some of the Brick tournament this weekend, and shout out to everyone out at the Brick. The Junior Canadians is kind of the team that we work with, and they were there looking to fight for their second title in a row. They won last year for the first time. So good luck to all the Brick teams, and I'm sure, some of these guys have come in, close to that. Maddox Burke, I know, played for the Junior Canadians, that sort of deal. So keep it moving here, I suppose, but
they're defending champs. They had a target on their back this year in the tournament for sure, and I think they've had their struggle so far in this tournament. But like you said, when you're the defending champ, doesn't matter what happens, you got a target on your back. There's a nice play from Dubai.
Definitely. They kind of work like the Canada Games there, Duder, where it's like the main year and then the next year. So you never know the age group you're quite getting there.
And it is such a fast turnover rate at that age group that you only get the players for the 1 year.
Yep.
For the most part, unless you're an underager. And I do know this has nothing to do with Hockey Nova Scotia, but there is a young man on that team from New Brunswick, so not far from us, that makes the trip up, Jeff, every single weekend for practices. And I always think back to, of course, the reminiscent days, and just don't think my old man would have been able to pull that off. So, that's commitment right there, and it is a big opportunity, but, that's the way it goes sometimes. And if they are able to pull it off, then that's great, and it teaches the kid a little bit of discipline as well. But we'll move on from that. So good luck to the Brick teams, and especially the Canadians here, as we're going to have the rest of this period to finish out now. As a shot in front, tipped and dangerously in front, as they fought for it in front of the goal, and it was just sitting at the top of the crease.
And down for an extra second there, but looks to be all right there. It's Fitzgerald, who's had a great segment and a great period for him.
Agreed. Now as Baldwin won the draw, but it looked like a loss as the puck went towards their goal. And now it's going to be taken here as Liam McLeod fires it off to his partner Gillis. Back to McLeod. McLeod looking for his options. Strong and Baldwin kind of got crossed up as they ended up in the same lane. Singer with it. Partner pass across. Nice breakout here from Team Pink. That's how you draw it up right there. Separate, spread out, fill your lanes, and be an option. And they're able to get out of the zone quite easily, as that one pass beat the whole breakout for Team Powder. Strong now is going to fire it up the strong side. Singer is just going to turn. He's just going to dump that in. Cross corner dump now is McLeod back forward on the backhand. Reversed back to Gillis. Gillis right up the right side for Strong. Strong tried to go through the middle for Baldwin, but it was knocked down out of the air. Nice move. And now in transition here is Powder. Jack Baldwin down the middle of the ice, goes over to the left side for Kerrigan. He's going to go to the middle of the ice, trying to get that middle lane drive going, but the puck wasn't able to get to him now as it's reversed back the other way. Singer on it. And that's going to be chipped up and over and down the ice onto Fitzgerald. He's just going to redirect that one into the corner. Underneath 2 minutes to go here in this one. It's a hit down there in the corner. Now it's going to be picked up by Williams as he rims it around the far side for Strong. Strong on the right side. He's going to chip that through the middle, trying to find Kerr again. It does get over the stick there of Boutlier. And now a big hit down there in the corner. Able to stay on his feet, though, is Kerrigan. As he'll return the favor there and behind their own goal. Nice pass. Looking to get broken out, and that's just too easy for Team Pink there as they spread things out nicely to exit the zone once again. An opportunity shot there. That was ripped up off the high button sports flag there and behind the goal. So Odell now with it. He's going to shake off two back checkers. Now into the middle of the ice for the trailer Swain. And glassing out. And that's a no-doubter there. And icing waved off. Great call by the official. She got right down in there in the action as we're into the last minute of play here in the second period. The puck's in behind the goal now. Morris down there taking on two Pink defenders. Hanley in to help out. Giving him a Hanley down there. Had to get one joke in before the end of the period. As Boutlier now looking for his options. He's just going to fire that off the far wall. Swain tried to chip it in deep. Had a hard time, but a nice move there as he'll swing it back. Nice shake move, man. These defensemen are very mobile. Haven't seen a whole lot of immobility at all here at this age group and just this event period as these defenders are just so shifty now as it's pushed into the middle. Backdoor pass, and Swain was wide open, but got tied up in front by Williams. Another good shot there, and great job at the blue line there. That's a very confident play by Quinton Land there. Feet outside the blue line, puck stays inside, and able to keep that puck inside the zone as Odell's back for it now. He faked the pass. Now he's going to swing it back, looking for Swain. Morris able to turn it over. Delayed offside, and that's going to do it here for the second period. A 5-4 lead for Team Pink, I do believe.
It is for Team Blue.
For Team Blue, so once again, wrong. Regardless, we'll head to the intermission, and we'll be back with the third period here when we return, so stay with us.
One.
And we're back just like that. Quick intermission, or at least that's how it seems. 20 minutes up on the board. 5-4 lead for Team Powder. Is that correct, Jeff?
5-4 lead for Team Powder here, heading into the third.
Hey, you know what? It's the first time I was right all day, so things are starting off on the right note here in the third period. So one last crack at it here for these players until later on tonight. And every shift matters, similar to playoff hockey. So we're underway now as LaRue tries to work his way through. Haverstock will poke that free down into the corner. Partner pass now, had to be careful as that wet ice down there. Team Pink very smooth on the breakouts. There's now a big hit down there as Tillman was taken out. Big reaction. And now we have a 5-car pile up in behind the goal. As the old hand warming sound comes through the mic. You know, when it's warm outside, right? And then when it's cold out in the rain, you come in and just a couple complainers is all we are up here. It's Tillman now, nice move in over the line. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass or a dump. Regardless, it gets in deep, and that's going to be a souvenir down there. And Pfeiffer with a whack on LaRue, so temper's starting to flare a little bit here. The face-off's going to stay inside the Team Pink zone, and Silas Mullins will enter for Team Pink, and Colby O'Shaughnessy down there for Team Powder. So these goalies getting their periods in. Tougher job here, maybe one of the more underrated skill sets is coming in cold off the bench and a little bit warmer in that gear, but no shots for a little while here for these goaltenders. But that's no excuse here for these youngsters. They're ready to go at all times as that puck is poked free. Team Pink trying to exit the zone, but McKay able to rip that back down in, and Mullins out to play it. Love to see the goalie come out and play that puck. Kind of slow down, if not eliminate the forecheck. And now Urquhart's going to get in behind the D, and he's tangled up down there in the corner. Passed out front off the side of the goal. O'Shaughnessy had to be sharp there. As the Osmond was knocked down through the middle looking for O'Leary. Kind of surprised him there, and then he blows a tire, so Cameron's going to loop it back to Singer. Singer indirect pass off the wall. O'Leary throw a hit. Now a cross-ice pass there for DeBay. Over for Osmond, who's going to chip that in deep. Castle-Balin on it. Gets there first. As they work in behind the goal now. McKay is going to come away with that puck there as he's going to use his body to shield there as defense. Good job by Singer as he turned it over. Urquhart tried to get a shot off and rolled off his stick, a victim of the fresh ice there. And now Duffy back down there to help out defensively as he's got it pinned up against the wall. McKay is going to poke it free for Strong. Strong through the middle of the ice. Jardine is going to get that red line. He's going to fire that in deep. Mullins out to play it. He's just going to deflect that up and over. Interesting tactic there. Now Cameron with it. He'll look for his options. Tried to go up to his winger, but it was picked off, and now it's going to be held in the zone, but now it's back the other way. Hakala in transition as he's going to work his way down the right side and over the blue line now. Towards the middle. Nice move. Opportunity. Couldn't get a shot off. Gillis got a stick on that puck at the last second as he'll fire a cross-ice pass onto the stick of Baldwin. Baldwin and over the line. Tried to make a move. Left it there unintentionally for Strong, and that's off the goalie and up and out of play. So just under 3 minutes into this third period. 17-11. You guys can do the math at home. Not a numbers guy.
Yeah, we haven't seen Gillis make too many mistakes here today. This type of player who usually can stand pat and looks like we said 100 times. If we say it 100 times, we'll say it a million. Added a bit of height. It looks like he's pretty comfortable out there on the blue line here.
It's crazy how fast time goes. When he was mic'd up with us a few years ago, he was tiny, like, let's call a spade, but at that age, it's not expected for you to be 6'2" like Mr. Cormier out there in the other age division, but, you know, putting on some size, but still keeping his mobility, and a real good, solid play here from Gillis so far, not making a whole lot of mistakes, and just kind of doing his job defensively here, clearing the front of the net, making sure the other team's not getting any chances, and, you know, as a defender, that's kind of the name of the game, is speak of the devil there, try to get it in deep. That might be the first mistake he made, and it could hardly go down as a mistake.
Yeah, kick it back in. Still alive. And his dad obviously was the coach of that Bedford U13 team from back in the day, so has great coaching, you know, and when your dad's a coach, I'm sure you kind of get those extra tips.
Oh, yeah,
More
maybe a
time
little bit
than
too
not.
much. Yep. The old drives home.
Yep. Oh, man. The old drive home when you get in and you sit in the back seat and the dad says, no, come sit in the front. Yeah.
Which you're not pumped about when normally you would be.
No. I got to look you in the eyes.
Want you to make sure that you're paying attention here.
Yeah.
But in the meantime there, nice save by O'Shaughnessy as he gets his first touch of the game. He's down in the crouch now. His Team Pink looking to tie things up here. Cross ice for McPhee. Real good jump off the line there. Shot. O'Shaughnessy the save and cleared out of the way. McPhee once again, another shot towards goal. Kicked away. O'Shaughnessy clears his own rebound. McPhee real busy here at the right side point.
Yeah, McPhee, a guy who does have a lot of offense in his repertoire, but, you know, right now it's kind of more of a defensive game I think he's been focusing on here today.
And I think that's nice, too. You obviously know he can bring the offensive side of the game, the way he skates and moves the puck. But it's nice to see the defensive side of the game as well. And over the line now. McPhee hits the trailer, a little bit too heavy. And now a pass up the left side. Mason Morris off to the races. Down the left side, Morris to the backhand and a save, Mullins. And a nice good flash of speed there from Morris. The puck's in behind, pinned up against the end wall. Backdoor looking for Black there as he snuck in from the left point. Now it's chipped down the ice. Swain on that loose puck. It's going to work down into the right corner, passed out front. And now worked up the right side. Hanley went for the hit, but the puck comes free as Bryan with it. He's going to pull it towards the middle of the ice. Now in over the blue line, had it poked off his stick. Jumping into the play, though, is Chisholm. Chisholm, nice move to the backhand. Spins around looking for an option. Finds LaRue in the high slot. LaRue, opportunity, backdoor, and couldn't get himself lined up. As Tillman will take that loose puck through the neutral zone. He'll spin off Hunter McLean as he pushes through. Up the left wall, and Haverstock's just going to get that in deep. LaRue down there. He's going to run into his old buddy Pfeiffer. Haverstock will send it back to the point for Tillman. A shot there. That goes wide. Back to the point again. Another shot blocked. Another opportunity. LaRue knuckling puck, and a stop there from Mullins as he covers it up here. So a good onslaught of chances here from Team Powder. It's 13:58 left to go here in the third period. So after this game, we will inevitably take a little bit of a breather, and we'll be back at 5:30 for the U14 matchup. So 2 more games on the dock for today.
Yeah, we'll be right back at it, and I'll probably be calling the U14, you on the 15, just so everyone's familiar with the voices. And a half hour earlier, I believe, tonight, right, than we went yesterday?
Correct, yep. It's nice to stay in the same league, too, for the viewing experience. That way we start to learn the names without referring to the roster here. So that's a little bit of a cheat code for us up here as well.
Definitely. You don't think you know Calvert's name after this morning's game? Number 11 there?
Yeah, there's a few you definitely remember, and it goes game by game. There's, you know, players that you
stand out.
Yep, stand out, and just names that you say all the time. So that's just the way it is, and it's nice to remember the names. And we do seriously consider the viewing experience as part of our game plan here. So we want to give you the ultimate experience, and everybody wants to hear their name called. Let's face it. A nice pass into the middle. Urquhart on the one hand, couldn't get it. As Haverstock, he'll throw another hit, probably his 10th of the game, and now he's back on the back check, pushed it back the other way, and O'Leary trying to get by his man there as he poked it free, and good job there, number 23, Morgan Fleming, as he went for the old reverse hit. Now front shot there, that goes wide off the end wall. Fleming looking for it, centering pass for O'Leary, couldn't get the shot off. He's in behind the goal. Fleming now into the crease, save Mullins, and he was able to stay real strong down there in that crease. And now the whistle's going to go, a net off maybe, or lost side of the puck. Regardless, whistle goes. 12:37 left to go here in the third period. 5-4 lead for Powder.
Yeah, and nice kind of tame period. Haven't had any goals here, almost halfway through. Couple chances at both end. Everyone's kind of seeming settled in, and I'll be interested to kind of see how this goes into towards tonight because, we got all three of the boys groups here now. Extended afternoon. It's not very nice out, so you're not going to be running around out there, and it'll be interesting just to see kind of the effort of how it switches over after these morning games.
Absolutely, and you always look to see how they react in the second game, and as it get older, it gets tougher and tougher to play those 2 games in one day. I remember at the tail end of my career playing junior B, we played 2 in one day, and it just was not for me. Maybe for some other people, but it gets tougher. The games get longer too, and honestly, as you get older, it's very rare that you do play the 2 games in one day, other than, Monktonian, Ice Jam, that kind of stuff. So.
And those are pretty important, so I guess it's good to get a couple extra chances under your belt. Like you said, pretty seldom we see it.
That's it. Extra looks, right? And sometimes you get in a situation where the players may want to just conserve their energy for the second game, but when you have the one game, it's easier just to go out and spend it and leave it on the ice. But these players looks like they're not holding back one bit here so far in this game, and that's good to see. So it's chipped back the other way. Nice saucer pass there for Jardine. So he's going to walk down the left line in beneath the goal line here and behind the goal, working behind. Good head of steam now, looking for his options. Didn't have a clear, distinct pass, so he cycles it down low, and now he'll work off the wall. And good read there from Urquhart as he's off to the races now. Team Pink got a man coming late. Urquhart, nice hit there. Gillis, maybe not the biggest hit you'll see, but a perfectly timed hit to separate from the puck.
Exactly.
And when hitting came into hockey, it wasn't about putting the guy in the hospital. It was about puck separation, and it was a very good job done there by Gillis.
Separate man from puck. That's how they say. As long as you can do that, it can be considered a good one.
O'Shaughnessy takes a grounder in, gets the glove down. Baseball reference for the young man who is a 2-sport athlete minimum. So that one's not going to beat him. Now back the other way, Team Pink 2-on-2. Kerrigan late from the bench. Opportunity shot there. Another opportunity. Nice save. O'Shaughnessy kicked aside the rebound. Puck still loose. And he's going to cover it up down there. Now we're going to have a few cross checks in front of the net. Don't mind it. Protect their goaltender down there. And O'Shaughnessy's been sharp, as well as Mullins on both sides here. So almost halfway through the period here, and nobody can tickle the twine just yet.
No, definitely settled down on the goal scoring. It was funny how the first game it was slow in the first half, and then it picked up. This game it was fast in the half, and now it slowed down.
Just looks like a little bit more defensive style of game here, and maybe unintentionally. And now it looks like Gillis, I think is Gillis, is going to head down the tunnel there. Or no, I think I still see Gillis on the bench there. Somebody went down the tunnel on Powder. Looked a little bit shaken up there, but Trainer's still on the bench, so probably just needed a sec or maybe needed a new stick, or pure speculation at this point, just something we noticed, but we'll keep you updated the best we can, as Black now is going to try and fire that off the wall. And now towards O'Shaughnessy, and he'll cover that up with a bunch of pink jerseys around. And kind of a benefit, though, of those bright colors. There's no excuse not to see your teammates out there if you're both wearing dark colors, which we've seen lots of times over the years, where the teams come out in the same color uniforms and warm up. But
yeah, meltdown definitely a couple times there.
At this point, though, they got her pretty much down to a science here for this camp. It's been going on for years and years, so
yeah,
it's a reason why it's run as well as it has been. It's a good battle here. Now it's going to be poke free. Morris finds himself in behind the defender. He's got a man going to the net, and Brian gets it there, and Mullins, good read as he slid across that crease, and he covered it up there with some more extra fun stuff after the whistle here. And it looks like it's going to be Quentin Land and Max Bryan getting acquainted down there. Just making sure they're following each other on Instagram, I'm sure. The face-off's going to stay inside the zone, though, however, to the left of Mullins, the goaltender for the Dartmouth Whalers U15 major. One of them, anyways. A sneak play off the face-off, almost finds the back of the goal. It rolls through the crease, and the puck is cleared as Black fires it down low. Morris tries to center. It was picked off by McPhee, who fires it off the far wall. Williams tried to make a play, but had it poked off his stick, so back inside his own neutral zone he'll go. Hanley trying to scathe off the forechecker and Swain, but Swain just won't go anywheres. As Morris there, that's taking a hit to make a play right there, folks. As that puck will get in deep. Good clean outlet pass there for Swain. He's going to hit Pfeiffer on the far side, who jumps into the lane, and Tillman was there to intercept, so he's going to pick it up here now. Fires across ice for Morris. Morris is going to chip that one in, not quite in deep now, as Brian in there on the forecheck.
Oof.
And his stick is caught in the zone there. I think at that point the ref's going, okay, well, your stick's in there and the other guy's holding it, so tit for tat, we're going to let things go here. And then Brian's stick gets launched over into the far corner and things continue. So into the middle now, opportunity Swain back down low, in behind the goal. Opportunity fight for a bad angle. O'Shaughnessy read that one as he had that post locked up, and now we're going to have a whistle. And a net off the pegs. And 8:30 left to go here in the third. Jeff, 5-4. Still no goals in this period, but I'm sure they're coming, as we've been proven wrong time and time again.
Yeah, and reminder, if it does end up 5-5 and ends in a tie, we did 5 minutes of 5-on-5, kind of just bonus time, and then we didn't make it to the shootout, but that's what it'll be there to start.
The other thing about that scenario, too, was they had some extra ice time. It was about 10:35 a.m. by the time that third period ended, so you have the ice rented for 2 hours, you're going to go the length. So maybe if they're out of time, they may not do it, but nice to see how the players react in a next goal wins type scenario. So see who can have on the ice. There's another save by O'Shaughnessy, and Andrea is dumped in front of the net, and Team Pink loves that as you start to see the little bit of the brotherhood coming out in these players, starting to stick up for one another. It was pretty quiet there for the first game, everyone kind of getting used to one another, and you spent some time away from the rink now with these young men, and you can see they're starting to build a little bit of some camaraderie down there, if you will.
Definitely seeing some camaraderie, and like I said, it'll be interesting to see how that plays when we're off the ice, just hanging out around the university.
Yeah, this is kind of the best of both worlds. You're at the university, kind of living the lifestyle, but don't have to go to class. So,
oh, it's amazing, dude.
It is for some people. It is not for me. And that's not to sit here and say don't go to school, because you definitely should. Certainly helps. But there are ways, for sure. Nice hit there, Haverstock, and he's got a stick up in the helmet area. As 3-on-2 back the other way. McLean, opportunity to the backhand and up and over the goal. And maybe a little bit of an underrated play there by number 19, Sebi Surratt. He had a back checker on him, McLean, and Surratt just kind of got in his lane, pretending like he was driving the net, and that kind of allowed him a little more time and space to get that shot off, as McLean now runs into Chisholm. Chisholm just trying to figure out a way to stop that big body, and just by staying in front of him, ends up working out for him now as a dangerous defensive blue line toe drag, and you can feel the tension after that one. Now is Haverstock down the left side. He's going to have a step on Cameron. Cameron hauls him down. Play continues. Haverstock able to get the shot off, and pretty ballsy play there from the young man Haverstock. It's one of those tough things to do, Jeff, is to get down that line or inside the blue line and just work wide, and a lot of the times you'll see them resort to that move where they try and jump into the middle, but Haverstock dropped that front shoulder and he just drove the net there. Didn't quite get the shot he wanted off, but they're going to get themselves an offensive zone face-off out of it, and a good strong play there from Nash Haverstock from the Gulls.
It's kind of funny how, like, when you go down the left side there, you'll make it about 90% of the way, and then that last cut move to the middle, you kind of run, you don't run out of steam. You also have the player on you, and it's just funny how, 99% of the players can make it 90% of the way, but then when you're in that spot, only the best of the best can really finish off, and it's kind of like a wraparound, the same idea. A lot of guys can attempt wraparounds. It's about can you finish it, and
the art form.
The art form.
That's kind of one of those things that we talked about. Remember I mentioned earlier in the game about the defense kind of committing and showing those feet. So once they cross that plane that the forward's looking for, that's when you cut back. But Jack Cameron did a real good job there of just staying with them. Kept him right in his sights, and wasn't able to give Haverstock an opportunity to cut to the middle. So he just took what he was given, and the play still down there in that zone since that faceoff. So lots of good stuff on display here, and just like the tiny, tiny tidbits of the game, the goals and the passes and the hits are all right there in your sight line, but it's the details of the game that these evaluators are certainly looking for. That's going to make the difference when these guys are so evenly played. You're looking for the small things that are going to separate you from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, to be cut down, even to get to this point, like you said, you're going to have to be pretty skilled. So when you're going to try to make the team from this, it's really going to come down to the little things.
Yep, it most certainly is. The IQ of the game is more or less what it boils down to be able to read and react on the play, especially at such a high speed. We keep saying it, but it's just never going to go anywhere, and you got to be able to be on your toes and kind of think on the fly. And it's amazing that there's this many players in the province that are able to do it at this level. So Not a whole lot of gap between these players now as Strong walks in out of the corner, tries to get a shot off, turnaround shot. It's McKay now, fights off the defender for O'Leary. Opportunity shot, and what a block there as Liam Worth showing his worth there. Perfect timing for that as he got down to one knee and blocked that. And one of those small things that we talk about, sacrificing the body for your teammates. And a block shot always bodes well with your teammates. It's one of the greatest feelings in the game of hockey. You get down, you stop one from going to the net, you get the tap on the bench from the fellas, and you're feeling pretty good about your shift there. And it's a pretty good momentum shifter too, if you can pull it off. Now is Strong back the other way and over the line down the right side, staying with it, try to get a shot off, and a stick on the puck as he released. And now partner pass over there for Gillis. He's just going to fire that in deep. Strong tries to center it, does, but it hits the stick of Boutlier and it's back into the corner. Picked up here by McKay. Cuts back, down low. Strong now. He's going to work out around the hash marks. Through the middle of the ice, around at the top of the circle. Back for McLeod. McLeod tried to return the pass and want to make sure that if it didn't get connected, at least went deep, as that's going to get by McLeod now as he's going to head all the way down the ice. And icing waved off. They're just going to let him play here, rightfully so. Nobody near, and that's one of those ones, Jeff, where you look up and if there's a forechecker on you coming hard and a potential dangerous play, then that's where you're going to call it. But with Team Pink changing, they wave that one off and allow play to continue here, as that's the end of the day. That's what you're trying to see here. So 4:20 left to go here in the third. 5-4 lead here still for Powder. And back the other way, Team Pink 2-on-1 now. Sim going to the back post, then over the line. Rebound shot there was perfectly placed, and Sim just a little bit too deep there as he was driving that back post. Didn't have the F3 coming in late as they would have liked. But a good odd man rush there, and at least they get a shot off. Now is Baldwin. Nice shake move as he's going to get around the first defender. Baldwin, backhand, tries to drag it into the net, and a great defensive play there by Quinton Land as he came back to help out his D-man McPhee. But Baldwin faked to the right and all of a sudden just pulled it back there, and that's part of the shiftiness. I'm not sure what happened down there in the corner, but it got a good reaction from everybody. It's in behind the goal. Sim, centering pass, opportunity, shot there. O'Shaughnessy solid there. When I think of O'Shaughnessy's season, I think of a couple games of note. Over 60 shots in a couple of the games, and one of them in particular at the Ice Jam where they played the that Moncton team. The Hawks, yep, and they were the heavy favorite of the tournament. Yeah, and he was absolutely dynamite, and that's just one of those games where you're not going to forget. And I can remember the faces of all the players going down to see him, almost not in disbelief, but just like,
proud.
Okay, and that was kind of the turning point for their season, I found, for the Rage. They started out kind of slow and kind of really picked it up at the end of the season there, and that was part of the reason is O'Shaughnessy, the backstopper for that team, and no slouch of the shots, and he's been real good so far, as well as Mullins down there. As Swain pokes it free, he's off to the races. Tried to go across as Williams, his teammate during the season, read it like a Dr. Seuss book there. As now the outlet pass, good job there by Haverstock to be an option. Face the puck carrier, get your stick on the ice, and make yourself available, and he does. And now he's just going to soft chip that down into the zone. As they reverse it back now, Pfeiffer takes a hit there from Haverstock. So he gets it down there in the corner. Pinned up against the half wall. Couple extra shots being thrown down there. Pfeiffer swung the stick, missed his target. As Cameron with it here as he makes his way through the neutral zone. Cameron in over the blue line, had a hard time with it, tried to go right down Broadway. Ends up going in on the goaltender O'Shaughnessy, and he's going to cover it up here with the pink jersey swarming. So 2:28 left to go here in this third period, and the faceoff's going to stay down inside the Team Powder zone.
Almost wrapping up this one, and still no goals here in the third, so let's turn it into a defensive game here for our third period. You never quite know how these ones are going to fall, and lots of opportunity for the defense to show off their skills. No penalties throughout this game, so lots of 5-on-5, and guess we're just keeping it moving here.
Yeah, I love to see it. Let the players decide the game here, especially in a camp. Now Strong walks in. Mullins looks in behind him, and just want to make sure that one stayed out of the back of the net. But Cooper Singer right there in perfect defensive position. If that puck does squeeze through, he's right there to stop that one from going in. So it does ultimately stay out. We're going to have a face-off now. As Worth, Fleming, and LaRue out there on the offense for Powder. They're going to win that draw, but Pink's going to come away with the puck now as Hunter McLean will fire it over the left side for Andrea. Andrea's going to walk in over the red line, tries to fire through the middle for McLean. Turned over and back the other way. Fleming down the right side, all alone. He's got a trailer coming in now, tries to pull it to the middle. A hit thrown, and Andrea just dodged a hit there from LaRue. McLean's going to muscle his way through the neutral zone as he's going to make his way back down onto Tillman. Tillman looked over and saw the big man coming. He decided to turn on the getaway sticks there. Don't want to get caught up in the trolley tracks of that one. Not that Tillman's a slouch by any means, but Hunter McLean, big body down there, and he had a good head of steam now, strong. Moves over to the right side, opportunity, shot there, and it was deflected along the way, but Mullins able to stay sharp and keep that one out of the back of the goal. So he keeps the lead intact for his team. 90 seconds left to go here in the third. Powder looking for the insurance marker. Pink looking to hold off the pressure here and get back the other way and tie things up late here as Powder now cycles it down low, worked in behind the goal. Centering pass there, front rebound shot, another save, Mullins. And it's still loose in front there, and Mullins fighting through a crowd, and he's taking about 4 or 5 whacks down there. And what a display and a sequence of goaltending there from Silas Mullins from the Dartmouth Whalers U15 major program. Looked like he was down and out and managed to keep himself strong down there and keep that puck out of the back of the net, and the score remains 5-4 for his team.
Yeah, managing to hold on there, and his team's actually down, so it would have been 6-4.
Sorry. Oh, man.
And maybe it's nap time for old Duty in between here.
People are going to think I'm blind up here.
So 5-4 here, though, with a minute and 9 left there for Powder.
Either way, keeping his team within striking distance. Now that I've had a chance to think about what I've said.
You can really get it right the second time around. That's how the commentary goes, right?
I'll probably still get it wrong the next time. But, hey, we're having a good time up here, and we hope everybody at home is doing the same. They all know the situation. I just don't, so interesting. Anyways, back to play here. We're into the final minute, 45 seconds. Poked out through the neutral zone. Had to turn back as Pink was offside. Puck pushed towards the goal. Now it's going to be swung back there for Boutlier. Boutlier fired it off the wall. It's going to get down onto Castle Balin. He's going to work in behind his own goal. He's being flushed out the far side. Turned over. 22 seconds left. A late push here from Pink. Backdoor. Oh, and it was right there for Blake Boutlier, who snuck in. And that was the equalizer on that stick there, but it's going to be pushed into the corner. 10 seconds left. O'Shaughnessy is going to slide out. He's going to keep it moving here, but nobody knew. And now he's going to take a bad angle shot there, and that it almost burned him there on that one. But you know what? That's actually pretty good recognition. I know it's in the offensive zone or your defensive zone, but he looked up and saw about 10 seconds left on the clock. Just wanted to keep the clock moving here, hoping that the team could clear the puck, but nobody on his team realized what was going on. So he ends up almost getting burned from a bad angle. But 4.3 seconds left here on this third period clock. Maybe one last opportunity here for Team Pink as Mullins is on the bench now for the extra attacker. So we need a big face-off, and the biggest face-off of the game here for these two teams. And Powder able to get it, but it goes back to the point. One last shot through a crowd. It gets deflected, and that'll do it. Powder hangs on for a 5-4 victory. Got it right this time, didn't I, Jeff?
There we go.
Backstop there by a good third period from O'Shaughnessy. So no goals in the third. That'll do it here for us. We'll be back around 5:30 for the U14 matchup. 2 later on. We thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the game as much as we did. So Matt Dulay with Jeff Warburton for